and just be flipped upside down.
2 years later, it's still hard to relive, if that makes sense. I'll play little videos of her, and they'll have the beeping in the background, and your anxiety just goes straight through the roof because you'll hear, you know, those monitors that made your head turn.
Well, I'm Brittany Isabel, and this is Charlie Isabel.
This is Savannah, and she was born May 14th, 2018 at 31 weeks.
My name is Dorcas Woody, and this is my son, Gianni.
Clay Marino.
How old are you?
I am about to turn 11.
I'm Ansley Sorrells. I'm currently a junior at the Savannah College of Art and Design.
I'm Dr. Audra Prince, and I'm a neonatologist. I take care of sick newborns.
My name is Kim Hudson, and this is my niece, Marin.
Our story began with a diagnosis of monoamniotic twins. So I knew from the beginning that if they were to live through the pregnancy, that they would need special care in the NICU.
She was born at 30 weeks, so 10 weeks early.
Daddy could just hold me like this.
Very often when we needed to send a baby to the NICU, it meant that Mama was still a patient herself. And so Mama was here and sort of stuck here while baby was going down the road.
We went to the hospital at 32 weeks exactly. I was automatically having to think about, what if my babies are separated? What if one of them has to go to one hospital and the other one has to go to another, and I'm here and they're alone?
They wrapped him up, the nurse came and checked him. She called someone else, and they came and looked at him, and they were like, we're gonna have to take your baby to the special NICU. He ended up getting airlifted to UAB.
We had a little bit of distress. We had to have an emergency C-section. She was born at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was on a jet at 6:40. At the time, I was like, this is the worst thing that could ever have happened. You know, like, that's not the dream that you have when you think you're gonna take your child home and there's gonna be a pink bow on the door and on your mailbox, and then the reality kind of sets in.
You want to take care of your baby, and you've got all these equipment that's doing it for you. But it's tough, it's real tough. It's one thing to not be able to bring your baby home, but when they are not physically in your community, there's so much out of your hands and out of your control that is burdensome on so many levels.
We were 3 hours away from home, away from our support system.
My husband had to choose between, should he stay here with his wife who's just had, you know, major surgery, or should he go be with the baby?
I felt an obligation to make sure I was pumping breast milk for her, and you had to pump every 3 hours, so I was pumping going down the interstate.
We didn't have anywhere to stay, and so it came to coming up with the money for a hotel, and then my husband had to go back to work. So it was just me. We didn't have any family, we didn't have any friends. I had no way to get around because I couldn't drive.
Parents can't afford to travel and stay in motels and eat out. Grandparents can't support them. Friends and family can't support them.
You know, a lot of families that are stuck with a baby in the NICU for a long period of time are having to do like GoFundMe campaigns, things like that, to raise money because they have to be out of work. The toll that it takes on them is pretty severe, and something that we could avoid if we had a NICU at the hospital for the baby to stay in.
As a growing community, the Auburn-Opelika service area and the greater service area that the hospital has, but we're seeing more and more young families settle to this area. So along with the growth in the community, we have more deliveries, and just statistical, we have more deliveries of babies who need higher level of care.
And we're in an area of the state that has one of the highest prematurity rates. We're also in an area of the state that has a lot of income situation and need.
When we looked at the number of babies that we had to transfer out for high-risk neonatal care, it made total sense for us to support a level 3 NICU.
So it was really born out of a need, and that's really how we develop any new service here, is we look at what the community needs.
Having the NICU here in Opelika would mean that moms that are going through a challenging pregnancy, they can get the services right here.
If we had a NICU baby center here, parents wouldn't have to be so far from the child. They could just stay here in Auburn.
We're able to say, your baby can stay here. We can care for your baby right here.
So it's like giving them that extra security of knowing they don't have to be separated from their family or from their baby.
She then has to make the decision, do I be with my kids at home, or do I see about my baby who's in a NICU away?
So having a facility here that can keep mothers and babies together, no matter what the scenario is would be such a blessing to parents and to families here.
They could have less disruption in their family, for their significant others, or for other children that may be at home. And then also there's less financial burden.
Just being in your local community where you've got your church, your neighbors, the community to support you is just priceless.
Some babies don't require special care, but when they do, what a blessing to have it right here.
It's a vast difference to go from a special care nursery, what we currently operate, and a level 3 NICU. You have to have certain size rooms, you have to have certain equipment, and you have to have certain specialists to support that.
It's a team approach. You're going to need doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists,
and occupational therapists, physical therapists, all those that have been trained in an NICU environment.
You know, then you have the physical space needs, the needs for intensive monitoring for a little person.
The routine stuff that is used at hospitals for adults doesn't work for small babies.
Like anything in healthcare, it comes with a high dollar price tag.
To help make the NICU happen, we would love for people to give, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly donation.
Our community has helped us in the past. We need to come to you and ask for your help again.
You know, what little you can do it. And let's make this happen.
Everyone's good. We split up a lot, which is, great.
She's incredibly healthy and very headstrong, so I think they might have done too good of a job maybe making her.
Yeah. Now you can see she's smart and great and a typical kid.
I really want to be a doctor like my dad. He helps deliver babies. He'd give me some pointers.
He was a fighter, so yes, you were.
My name is Charlie Isabel, and I'm a NICU baby.
I am Clay Marino, and I am a NICU baby.
I'm Ansley Swirls, and I'm a NICU baby.
My name is Mary Bruno, and I'm a NICU baby.
Good job! You did it!
You know, he could play the song that actually I used to listen to it in the hospital because I wanted to believe it so desperately.
Everybody falls sometimes. You gotta find the strength to rise from the ashes and make a new beginning. And I've seen dreams that move the mountains, hope that doesn't ever end, even when the sky is falling. I've seen miracles just happen, silent prayers get answered, broken hearts become a brand new. That's what faith can do.
I do believe it. I have a reminder every day of what faith really can do.